Um, all right, so hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Juanna from Gitcoin's public funding team. Um, I apologize in advance for having my phone out. I just have a lot of things that I want to share, and I want to make sure I get all the information to you guys correctly and intentionally. So yeah, it's not that I'm unprepared. So how many of you guys have heard of or worked with Gitcoin before? Can you raise your hands if you've heard of them? All right, cool, cool. It looks like we have a few people that are pretty familiar with Gitcoin, but just to get everyone on the same page, let me just introduce our project a little bit. Um, so on the highest level, Gitcoin creates solutions to empower communities to fund, build, and protect what matters. Our project was started in 2017 from Consensus as an open source bounty platform with the belief that the future of work would be remote and flexible. From there, we started testing the bounty model and experimenting with hackathons and virtual incubators in 2018. And in the following year, we rolled out our first grants program to quadratically fund public goods and open source software projects. I'll go back to this slide. Oh, sorry, my slide. So the funding mechanism we use at Gitcoin comes from Vitalik Buterin's paper that expands on the idea of quadratic voting. It's a way for individuals to express their interests and allocate funding in a more democratic and pluralistic way. The matching amount received by a project is proportional to the sum of the square of all square roots of contributions received. Basically, it just weighs the preferences of the majority community over the preferences of a wealthy few, without putting too much power on those with the most resources, all while giving back to the community democratically. This method of funding solves many issues we see in traditional one-to-one matching pools and funding models, such as dissuading supporters with less capital to participate or building for the wrong reasons, such as return on investment over public security. Okay, so since our first grants program in 2019, in total, this is just our GR14 stats, but in total, we've distributed over 38 million USD in matching funds to grants. And some of the biggest players in the industry have gotten their start as a Gitcoin grantee, such as Optimism, Uniswap, ENS, Ethers.js, and many more. Let me go back to this slide where it has a few of these down here. Wallet Connect. Yes. So, yeah, I'm sure you guys have probably interacted with a lot of these guys because they are really large players that provide a lot of essential infrastructure to this open source ecosystem. So from there, we have even gone on to offer ecosystem rounds to help our partners and also cause rounds, which focus on real world issues such as climate solutions, legal advocacy, decentralized science, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have even done local rounds in places like Oakland, California to support real charities on the ground. And earlier this year, we even partnered with UNICEF's Office of Innovation to fund life-saving initiatives for children all over the world with our new decentralized grants platform. This is a so. Let's see here. So as we've expanded past deep infrastructure and determined our product market fit, we've begun exploring more diverse use cases. And our initial centralized funding mechanism that was run by our small core team has now been developed into this fully decentralized product with its own protocol. And that is called the Allo protocol, which is short for allocate. So, yes. And I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about the architecture of our product, because although we are kind of focusing on the developer community during this session, if we are only focusing on the technical aspects, that is not going to create a fully fleshed out product that people are going to adopt and use. You need to have balance, and you need to have like a diverse cast of people to be serving multiple functions within your project. And so our grant stack has 3 different sections. It has the grants manager, the grants explorer, and the grants builder. And these 3 applications form the grants stack. And this is all built on top of the Allo protocol, which is, yes, short for allocate. And yeah, it supports these programs. The manager is going to be more utilized by community leaders in order to tap into the community intelligence to support the decision making. And this, if you wanted to get involved in something like this this season, you could easily go in as a round operator to get a taste of this program manager experience. You don't need to really have like a technical background to do this, so it's pretty cool. If you're a project owner, which would be like if you're a grantee, which I think a lot of this would apply for you guys, then you would use the grant stack to not only get funding, but also get discovered. And we're also working with Passport and other partners in order to create like a more robust reputation management system, in addition to our civil defense with our Passport products and other operations. So finally, if you're a developer, you would pretty much be using our grants platform to manage your project and receive funding. And although this product that we have its main focus is decentralized funding, I think actually the most powerful part of our product is the community. So yeah, so I feel like the network effects of community have definitely been one of the kind of most valuable aspects of Gitcoin, because it's really easy to, I mean, it's not really easy to like contribute technically, but it's really hard to be able to kind of find that right group of trustworthy people to be spending your time and resources with. And I feel like because Gitcoin has that reputation and history of working with all these early stage projects and letting them kind of just thrive on their own, it has really allowed us to place ourselves as a signal maker, and also I feel like as almost like I think a really good analogy that someone used at ETH Denver was that Gitcoin is basically like the living room of the Web3 world. So if the Web3 world is like a house, you know, it's like not everyone is allowed in the bedroom, like not everyone wants to be going to the bathroom, but the living room is somewhere where everyone can chill, everyone has a place, and we can all just come together. And similar to that, I feel like with Gitcoin's public goods, we're really just bringing people together on the united front of just like safety, onboarding, and like good vibes all around. So let's dive a little bit into maybe what's new with our grants program. So with this upcoming grants program in season 2, we have involved the community even more with our decentralization. So now our core rounds, instead of us deciding as a team, the community, the GTC holders get to vote on it in a snapshot vote. And so now we have 5 core rounds this season, which include ZK, open source software, Ethereum infrastructure, climate solutions, and community and education. These are supported by basically like my team as the partnerships and public goods funding team. by seeking out value-aligned partners who really share our mission and want to help bring us into the next critical stage of our organization. And the other type of grant round that we have is the featured round, which is really like an opportunity for community activation and engagement, because these featured rounds will essentially be run at the same time as our public good rounds, which will increase the discoverability. Our featured rounds get kind of co-marketed, maybe not in the same way as like our core round partners because they're running their own thing, but at the same time, just having that traction during that same period of excitement, we've seen a lot of our partners be really happy with the results. Something that I did not add as a visual in this slide deck, but would love to mention because I think it's pretty relevant to here is, I think before our first Greater China ecosystem round, which was run back in GR14, so I think that was like last year or so, we only had about like one grantee in the Greater China area, which is like really weird and shocking, like after coming here and just seeing how active like the scene is. And this season, I believe the Greater China ecosystem round will be featured. And this will be our second time running the round, and I'm going to be really excited to report back on the effects and the traction that we get from that. Cool. So, anyways. So I think like the power of community is really like what drives the power of Gitcoin. And I feel like the more we drill into that, like the more niche we are able to get and really like figure out what people actually care about funding. It really like goes to show the use cases, and we really want to push past just like deep infrastructure. And so we're really trying to invite just like more and more just creativity into this space. Okay, so yeah, and something that like I feel like has been really, it's like been both cool and frustrating about working at Gitcoin is because we have like put our money where our mouth is and decentralized into a DAO, it comes with a lot of its own unique set of challenges, including like having all of our dirty laundry from like our DAO and like our governance essentially just like online for everyone to see, and having just like issues with just like bridging that gap between remote communities being spread out as we are. But at the same time, I feel like Gitcoin is really doing something special in experimenting with just kind of like community ties and how we can really empower and tap into that. So I feel like I've been talking enough about just kind of like Gitcoin itself, and I kind of want to bring this back to you guys with a reminder that our grant application period has actually just started this past Wednesday, and it will be active for another week, I want to say. Yeah, until the 21st. Yeah, and so I just wanted to go over some like brief eligibility requirements for you guys. This QR code right here is a link to our official governance post, so you can actually see like the official like on-chain like proposal and all the like debate and approvals that came with it. So just on a high level, for pretty much all of our 5 core rounds, your project must have been active for at least 3 months. And you should not have, this project should not have its own token or raise VC funding by the time they apply as a grantee. You cannot have any form of quid pro quo that can have financial value, such as like a like NFT or like some kind of like future airdrop. And finally, the grant must be in support or directly advancing the cause. And I feel like we can all use like pretty good judgment, but if you have any questions, I will have my information up later to message me. And I also want to mention that we have we actually have always been able to accept our applications in Chinese. So if you guys are more comfortable explaining your ideas in your native language, then feel free to go ahead. And our team is pretty much like constantly pushing to be able to accommodate the greater international community. So here are some key dates. I'm sorry I didn't update this part, but now you know that this is the 21st. We will be reviewing the applications for about like a week or so before the beta rounds go live at the end of the month. Our grants matching pool is going to be about $1 million spread across these 5 different rounds. So that's about $200K each in each round. And yeah, I think with that, I mean, like just the fact that you guys are spending your time out here with Foresight Ventures, like trying to work on these problems and just being super creative, I think that kind of already has proven that you really care about the safety and infrastructure of this space. So already I would like to thank you guys for supporting public goods, just for being here. And yeah, so sorry, this part also probably isn't very relevant, but my email is relevant. Ooh, here's a fun slide. This is some really nice things that other people have said about the impact of Gitcoin. And I think it's just super wonderful to see just how appreciative our community is. And I think it's often very easy to forget the actual impact of our work when we're in the weeds every day of it. But when we see these really kind things said about us by our community members, it really proves to us like why we're even doing this work. And I really hope that like that people are able to say these like wonderful things about the work that you guys do too. So here's my link tree. So this has like a bunch of like useful links for like our like the Twitter. It has some of my personal information. It has a link to the grantee application. That is my Telegram right there. So feel free to add me on Telegram. Send me a message. Let me know like how like that I was speaking here and you heard me talk. And then finally up here is my email, Juanna@gitcoin.co. If you are having trouble with the grantee application because it's like a kind of like a dynamic form in English, just feel free to email me and I can send you like just like a normal form through email that you can fill out in Chinese, and we can just get that process through for you like through my end. So with that, I think that's it. Did I talk enough time? Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope this was somewhat helpful and interesting.
OK， 我们下一位嘉宾是我们今天专门请过来的那个 WTF 交所 Solidity 非常棒的一位重量级嘉宾林差 A， 然后让他来给我们做一个简单的也是一个 talk。
OK， 好，大家好，我是林差 A， 然后对，很高兴来 Foresight 他们办的这个 Hackathon 来讲一讲简短的讲一讲我们最近办的这个 East 北京 Hackathon。对，然后我是 WTFAcademy 的创始人，然后也是北大区块链协会的会长。所以今天主要就简短的讲一下我们的 PKU Blockchain 协会，然后 WTFAcademy 还有 East 北京 Hackathon。然后我们 WTFAcademy 也是 Gitcoin 的 grantee。对。然后北大区块链协会就是北大的一个学生组成的一个非营利性组织。然后我们大概就是在校园里，然后成员都是北大的在校生，然后每个学期初我们会在学校里去进行招新。我们最近两个学期，每个学期都能有200多人来报名。然后可能骨干目前有40-50个人，也是规模比较大。然后我是近1年的会长，然后我们主要的重点也是会放在公共品，比如说 Web3 的教程，还有研报开源免费，然后也会去办一个黑客松，然后也会帮其他的高校去建立他们的区块链协会。 然后这是我们做的一些活动，我们会做一些这个是在去年疫情的时候9月在五道口的 MetaSpace 办的一个线下的活动可能 Foresight 的人也有去。对，然后这是我们也会经常跟清华呀其他学校一起去办一些这种线上的 Twitter Space 进行交流。然后我们去年10月份还办了一个Web3 新人公开课，那个时候直播的时候在 B 站，然后每天差不多有1万人观看。然后之后我们也把这个视频上传到了 B 站和 YouTube。就是其实这次我们办黑客松的时候，很多人说是看了我们这个公开课才进入到 Web3 这个圈子。然后我们公开课一共有7讲，然后有我们协会的一些骨干，我们也请到了这个肖真老师还有教 Solidity 非常厉害的催眠大师，还有跟这个漫雾的人，就是他们一个安全的这么一个组织一起合作，然后所有的教程都是免费的，然后我们也会用它进行内部培训。然后我们还有一个研究部，就是产出一些免费开源的一些报告，然后不是投资建议，然后目前发了2篇，之后最近可能会再发一篇是 Treasure DAO， 一篇是一个任务平台的研究，他们比了这个 Rabbit Hole 呀，像是 Layer 3呀，还有很多这个 POAP 呀这些。然后我们的技术部主要就是进行一个技术分享，然后也会带着大家去参加黑客松。这是我们可能是2年前参加了一个万象的黑客松，然后也获了奖。然后我们最近也办了一个黑客松，之后也会讲到。然后协会差不多就这么多。然后这个 WTFAcademy 是我创办的一个 Web3 的面向开发者的一个开源大学。然后目标就是目前是让1万名开发者去进入 Web3， 然后我们会做教程，比如说 WTF Solidity、WTF Ethers 这些开发者必备的这个技能。然后我们也做了一个开源的教育平台 WTFAcademy， 你可以在上面学习我们的教程，然后还有一些测试的内容，你可以自己测试你学的怎么样，然后之后你可以领取一个免费的一个链上凭证。目前在公测阶段已经有5000多个开发者去使用过了。然后我们之后呢也会做更多的社区去做更多的开源软件。我们这次做了一个 SoulLive， 是基于 Remix 的一个更轻量级的这种在线编译器帮助大家去学习 Solidity。对，然后目前我们的贡献者有100多人，然后社区的开发者有5、6千人的样子。对，然后最早为什么要做一个 Solidity 教程，就是因为大部分的 Solidity 教程都是英文的，然后中文的没有一个很好的 Solidity 教程，所以我那个时候就一边学一边写了 WTF Solidity 教程。然后之后大家就是很多开发者很喜欢，然后就是他们也会去主动的去 review 我的一些里面的一些可能代码的错呀，还有这种文字的错呀，然后慢慢的现在是一个中国中文里面维护的比较好的一个 Solidity 教程。然后对，就是之前其实有很多 Solidity 教程都很好，比如说大部分所有人都会看的 Solidity 文档 ，Solidity 的官方文档，对吧？但是它没有很好代码实例，还有 video。然后呢 ，Solidity by example 它非常简单，它有代码，然后有视频，但是它不是中文的，也没有很详细的文档，所以我们就是去进行一个互补，我们就有很好的文档，又有很好的 code， 然后也是中文的，所以是比较受这个开发者的喜爱。对，然后目前我们在这个已经更新了70多讲，然后 GitHub 上有6800个 star， 就是你如果在 GitHub 上搜 Solidity， 第2名是我们的这个 repo。对，然后非常多的贡献者。然后我们也按着类似的方式去做了一个 Ethers 教程。对，然后现在也做了20多讲，然后有20多个贡献者，现在 GitHub 上有1500个 star。然后其实最近 Ethers 升级到了 V6 版本，一个新的一个大更新，然后我们教程也是世界上最先支持 V6 更新的这么一个教程。对，然后我们也跟他们的 Ethers 的作者一起可能下周吧会一起邀请一起做一个 Twitter Space， 介绍一下这个 Ethers 的最新的版本。然后社区之前主要是我来主导做一些教程，但是现在因为社区贡献者比较多，我们也会做一些社区主导的开源教程，比如说有一些前端的，还有一些这个 DeFi Hacks Labs 他们跟我们一起合作的一个 On-Chain Translation， 一个链上安全的这么一个教程，然后由我们的一个贡献者主导的一个就是 Gas 优化怎么写出更经济有效的智能合约的这么一个教程，所以之后会做更多的教程。对，然后这个是我们的开源平台之前可能目前就是接近5000个人，然后你可以学我们的每一讲，然后你点进去可以学，然后之后可以进行测试，测试完了就可以毕业，对，获取一个链上凭证，证明你已经学会了这个技能。对，然后我们就是因为专注以太坊，但是以太坊的未来是 Layer 2， 它的路线图就是一个 Rollup Centric Roadmap。对，然后我们也去跟一些 Layer 2去合作，比如说这个是跟 Starkware 去合作，我们做了一个 WTFAcademy Starknet， 对，然后也获得了Starknet 的 grant， 然后我们就是如果你想学习，就是你就是一个以太坊开发者，然后你想进入 Starknet， 但是 Starknet 它不是用 Solidity 写，它是用他们自己的一个语言 Cairo， 然后很多工具比如说 Ether.js 也不能用，要用 Starknet.js， 然后我们就是去覆盖了这些所有的比如说抽象账户呀、Cairo 呀，还有 Starknet.js 呀，还要怎么搭建一个简单的 Starknet app， 我们就把这些教程都做了一个新的平台，然后去让开发者能进入到 Starknet， 然后我们有很多像 Argent X 的开发者呀，还有一些 Starkling Cairo One 的作者也是我们这个平台的贡献者。然后这个上面也都是开源免费的教程，对，然后对，这是我们在做的一个编译器他想做的事情就是把 Remix 因为可能是最好用的这么一个在线编译器，但是它有点重，所以我们想把它做得更轻一些，就是能放到这个文档里面，让每一个这个文档里的这个代码块都能变成一个可以编译的这么一个编译器，对。就差不多之后就会长这样，就可以嵌入到文档里面然后也是灵感来源于 Crypto Zombie 一个非常有名的一个 Solidity 的这么一个教程，然后还有基于这个 React Live 还有 Remix。然后我们的资助，因为我们是就是不盈利的，所以我们的最后讲2分钟。然后我们的 grants， 我们就有 Gitcoin 的 grants， 然后也获得了以太坊基金会的，还有 Starkware， 最近也有 Optimism 的一个 grants， 对，然后也很感谢他们的支持。然后这是我们最近办的一个就像现在一样的一个 East 北京的 Hackathon， 在北京，然后我们从全国请了150个开发者，然后其中1半以上都是在校的学生，1半以上是非北京的，然后请他们来五道口，然后进行一个3天的这么一个线下的黑客松然后这是我们的一些照片，对，然后是由 PKU Blockchain 我们北大协会还有 WTFAcademy 一起主办，然后有 East Planet 和 Scroll 他们协办，给了很多支持，然后以开发者为中心，然后全程都是用 GitHub 来进行维护的这么一个黑客松，对。然后我们这一点就是说高校的支持非常多，就全国有20多所高校的协会进行了支持，然后他们也派了很多学生来参赛，对，所以就是目的就是让大家其实去在疫情嘛封锁了3年，然后一起去线下，大家网友之前可能都是推特上网友，然后互相认识一下，然后去从零开始搭建一个项目，所以我们最后也是有非常多是第一次参加黑客松的学生，然后最后他们总共这些150个人提交了50多个项目，也是产出也是非常的丰厚，对，然后对，其实就讲这么多，谢谢大家，然后希望大家在这个 WordSide 黑客松玩的开心。